I think this is where you need to enlist the help of that client to be. Hey everyone, it's Shannon Lee, the Director of Coaching at Win Without Pitching. And I wanted to talk with you a little bit today about value based pricing and a couple questions that I've received over the past few weeks from clients. So, the first question, I'll just read it to you. I'm trying to figure out how to do value based pricing when the value created by the work is financial and real, but not easy to calculate. So that's part one. And then the other part of the question is, and how do I apply it with existing clients? So, okay, here goes. So, if the value you're creating is of financial significance, whether it's a revenue gain or a cost reduction, and it is real, but it's hard to calculate, I think this is where you need to enlist the help of that client to be. If you're having a hard time with a calculation, it could be because you don't know enough about their financials or what in fact is happening on their end with this metric that you're trying to measure, this very real financial metric you're trying to measure. And it would benefit you to sit down and just be open about that in a conversation with them when you're having the value conversation. Okay, Miss Client, we've identified some real financial value that we can create, but it's a bit of a complex calculation. Can we sit down and sort this out together and just get in the weeds together? Be okay sitting in the messiness of it. And if there still is some uncertainty around how this might play out in the future, make some agreements that you're going to check in month to month to gauge how things are going, to make any needed adjustments to that financial calculation that feels a little tricky to sort out. So, the big message is work together with that client to be, ask as many questions as you need to ask. Don't worry about that. You're trying to sort this out together. Don't feel silly thinking the questions will make you look ill-informed in some way. There just needs to be a level of transparency and messiness. And that's the next point, that it's okay that some of these conversations are messy. And it's okay that you make agreement down the road to actually check in month to month and readjust as needed. So just give yourself some space to allow those activities to happen. And I guess on a final note, I would say you want to enter into any true value priced scenario where you may tie some compensation to outcomes. You want to enter into it with a client that you trust, that there's some immediate instinct on your part after going through the sales conversations with them that, yeah, this is somebody who sees we are the expert, believes in us, is letting us lead in the sale, and we trust them in return for whatever reasons, right? There has to be some trust built to really make some of these true value-based pricing scenarios work. So, okay, that is what I have for you today on value-based pricing that may feel complex. Now I'll pivot and address the second part of the question. How can we use value-based pricing with current clients? So it is true that we think of selling at Win Without Pitching around one new client at a time. Bring this new behavior you're learning to each new client that comes in the door. It can become really tricky with a current client to change behavior mid relationship. And one day you're behaving as the vendor, and the next day you show up acting like an expert. They can feel like that is you being difficult or you kind of duping them. It can feel like whiplash. And so, my best advice around value based pricing is, again, just be transparent. Hey, Miss Client, we've worked together for a lot of years, and I have actually come upon a new way to think about how we can create the most value possible for you and the outcomes that we're delivering. If you're open to it, I would like to walk you through this new way of thinking, this new conversation that really has an eye towards not just your needs, but your future wants, and really gets in the nitty gritty around how we're going to measure it, what the appropriate metrics are, and allows me then to take all of the learning from this conversation back to my team and think creatively and expansively on your behalf and come back to you with some options for how we might proceed. So if you're open to it, I'd love to share this new way of thinking with you and just really bring you up to speed on how we really have an eye towards creating the most value possible for you. So just be honest. Let them know you learned something new and you'd like to try it with them and you think it will benefit the work that you're doing together. Okay, everybody. Hopefully that's some helpful information for you today. Keep those questions coming to our YouTube channel. Ask a question and Blair or I will respond to you. And remember to hit subscribe so that when we answer your question and it's posted, you get a little alert in your inbox. Take care out there. Cheers.